welcome to Hedgehog Hollow. Today I'm back with HND MD with two more ideas using their lace stencil. Thank you so much for all the crafty love you left on my previous posts. Last time we worked completely on black and this time we're working on white. So I want to show you two completely different ideas. The first one we're going to do is some no line watercoloring to give you this image, and then I've got some new stamps and dies to show you as well. And then on the second one we're going to be using our Nouveau drops, and these are glow in the dark Nouveau drops to give you this really fun happy card as well. So lots of ideas, lots of different ways to use the stencil, so let's get started. So for our first card, we're going to be using these fab Nouveau pens. They're an Aquaflow glitter pen, so a little bit like some of the Spectrum Noir ones and Wink of Stella, things like that. But I really love these. I think they give you great control, and I love the colours that they come in. They come in multi-packs. Now I've already taped down my stencil here onto a piece of Bristol Smooth. And I love the application on these and the brush that's in them. Now you do want to be a little bit careful. Now if you get some leakage, that's fine, but I don't want too much there. And you can see they're just like working with a watercolor. Absolutely fab to work with. So I'm working with some of the more pastel colors here, and this is almost like a no line watercolor. So great technique, super easy, and you'll see how quick this is for me to fill in. So here is our finished panel. A couple of things I wanted to mention. First of all, these are Aquaflows. My mistake, they do not contain the shimmer. They're just a watercolor style pen. You'll also notice that I've kept my pen quite perpendicular so that I get the best image through my stencil and minimal bleeding as well. One other tip I wanted to share with you is on aqua painters. So I fill my aqua painters using a spritz bottle. Much better, I think, than doing it over a sink where you get it full of bubbles and things. And I was talking you through this, but we seem to have lost all the sounds, so hence I'm voicing this over. You can see a few squirts there and my aqua painter is full. So now I'm going to soften those green edges because I wanted to still have all that detail, and so I just grabbed a little bit of colour in that watercolour pen, the Aquaflow, and going all over it. In a second I'll also remove that masking tape so that I don't get any harsh edges, and that soft green goes right to the edge. You can reactivate this at any time using water, no issues at all. I'm also then going to let this dry for 15 to 20 minutes. You didn't really need a huge amount of time. It's on some Bristol paper, so pretty rugged paper, and that worked out really well. But whilst that's drying, we are able to move on to our second card, which is a glow in the dark card. So it's super fun. So for the second card, again, I've taped it down onto a piece of Bristol Smooth on my craft mat. I'm going to be using the Nouveau glow drops. These are great fun. They actually glow in the dark once they're all done. So we'll be having some fun taking pictures of this. I've got 4 of the colours, and I'm going to fill in my stencil as though I'm working with gesso or ink or something like that. So you can see here I'm holding it down with my finger. It's the easiest way to go. Fill in an area. And I'm going to pick out a couple of other yellow areas while I'm doing this. You're going to want to work fairly quickly because you're going to want to lift off your stencil so that your stencil doesn't get stuck in with all of those Nouveau drops. However, the effect at the end is amazing. So I'm going to get working on this. our cards are dry and ready to mount up. I've got everything pre-cut down. So we have 2 card bases, 8.5 by 11, chopped in half here. And I'll fold those down the middle. And we'll use our bone folder to firm up those creases. Same on this one here. So I don't tend to use anything to score mine. I just fold and then use the bone folder down the middle. I've got a piece of pink lawn fawn from their rainbow sampler pack. I love that pack, and it goes so far, and it's got some fantastic colours in it. So I like to, when I'm mounting, I like to open up my pieces here. I'm going to stick that on. I've trimmed down my panel here as well, so again I can pop this on. Every time I go a dimension down, so your card base is 5.5 by 4.25, so my next piece will be 5.25 by 4, and then my final piece here is 3.75 by 5 inches. So there's that. And now I've already stamped out this Things Will Get Better. This is a new My Favourite Things set, all about smile. Everything can be preceded or proceeded either side by smile. But lots of the sentiments work alone really nicely. And also this angled sentiment piece, I always like something more consistent and straight, and this is a die from them. So of course I will link all of that up for you as well. I'm going to put this down here on a piece of foam tape. So that is one of our cards completed. I think it's so pretty. You could maybe add some sequins or some sparkle if you wanted to as well. But I'm just going to leave it as that watercolour effect. Then our second card, again, we have the card base and a piece of lawn fawn black cardstock for this one. Like so. And we'll layer it up again flat, so it's as even as possible. And I just love how beautiful those colours came out. It's just one of those cards that makes me feel really happy to look at. So it does take quite some time to dry. So just because of that, I'm just a little bit cautious. I'm going to put my tape on here, leaving a little bit of a border. I can always stick a glue dot underneath if I need to, but I just don't want to press anything just in case it isn't quite dry. So again, I've cut those to the same dimensions as the previous card. Give it a gentle pat down for now. I'll give it a firmer pat. I'm going to leave this actually overnight to fully dry, and then I'll give it a firm pat down. Now I am going to pop my sentiment. Again, it's the same thing, same set. This one says happiness is contagious, and I'm actually just going to trim off a little bit on this end. And it's got that nice angle that I used on the die there as well. And I'm going to pop this one down the bottom here too, on that foam tape. So here are 2 beautiful cards, same stencil. Amazing how different they can look. So this is working with white. Last time we worked with black. You'll see that video pop up on your screen shortly, as well as some subscribe buttons to our channels. Do click those if you're not already subscribed. I hope you'll join us again very soon, and I hope you're enjoying the pictures on your screen. All of those are on our blogs, and the links are in the description for you as well, plus all of your supply list. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you again very soon. Happy stamping! Bye!